Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be trying some new makeup. I don't think I have a full face, but we're kind of close, so I thought it would be a good time to do this. I do want to try the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation for you. I also have a little bit of an update for you in terms of the release date because it has been pushed back. So we'll talk about that a little bit. As you guys just saw, I did the Hourglass Vanish concealer wear test and I really liked it. So I thought I would try it again, with a different foundation, different powder, see how it works. I also have the new Nars Tinted Glow Booster, which I hauled, and I'm very curious if this actually makes a difference or not because it looks very, very subtle. And I also have the Mcgrath new Golden Opulence 6-pan eyeshadow palette. So definitely want to try that. I have some new liquid eyeliners from Japan. I think it's Yuzu. I'm still not sure of the brand name. I apologize. So I want to try those. So lots of fun things to play around with today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with foundation. I've got the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. This is in the shade 4.7 Cool Beige. I did order online my 2.0 buff shade, which is the shade that I use like in other foundations, but I think I'm going to return this, save myself the money, because this actually works out pretty well for me. And because this is even lighter, I feel like it's not like, oh, come summer, this is a shade I'm going to use. So if anything, if I had ordered like a darker shade, I probably would have kept it. But since this works out for me pretty well, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with 4.7 Cool Beige and return this one. So I heard from my friend Ralph that works at Nordstrom, and I'm just going to refer to his little message here because he has been so kindly like keeping me up to date on these Tom Ford releases, and he wanted to let me know that Nordstrom and Tom Ford are moving back the launch date of the new foundation, brush, and mist. So there is a new foundation brush that's coming out with this, and then a new, I think it's like a hyaluronic like face mist, which I saw in store, but I didn't try it. But anyway, they're pushing all of this back until mid-February. So I think their original plan was to launch this foundation like this week sometime, but they're pushing it back until mid-February. There was a delayed shipping on a lot of the shades, which probably explains why when I went into the Tom Ford boutique, they only had like a select number of shades. There's 40 in total, and they didn't have more than like 20 there. Other retailers will have the items at the end of March. Not completely sure what's happening at the boutiques, just wanted to let you know. So thank you so much to Ralph for keeping me informed on what's going on with this release. But I had originally stated in my full day wear test video of this foundation that this was going to be online and in stores at Nordstrom like mid-January. And that's just not the case anymore. So I apologize. And then I think the Tom Ford boutiques have a few in store if you do live near one. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and apply this today. I've got my BK Beauty foundation brush. This is the 101 brush that I really enjoy using. And I really want to try this brush with this foundation. And I think what I'm going to do, because this Cool Beige is fairly cool, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it has like just the littlest bit of a pinky undertone in there. And I prefer foundations that are a little bit more neutral, warm, leaning a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I think, is put a little bit of this Nars Tinted Glow Booster in here. This foundation does have some radiance in it already, so I don't think this is necessarily going to, I don't know, make this any glowier than it already is, but this shade I think is going to add a little bit of warmth to it. So I swatched this for you guys during my haul. I'm going to pump 2 pumps of the foundation out, and then just 1 pump of this Nars Tinted Glow Booster. Just gonna pump it right on top. Hello. The texture of the Glow Booster is a little bit thicker than the foundation. Wow, that got ugly real fast. I do see just a hint of that Glow Booster in this base now. Just the slightest hint. I don't even know if you guys will be able to see it or if you'll even be able to compare with my other video, but I have worn this foundation a few times now, and it definitely looks a teensy bit warmer today with the Nars in there. I think what I'll do is pump out just a little bit more of this and mix it with what's remaining on the back of my hand for my forehead, since my forehead is much warmer and much deeper. Definitely makes the consistency of this foundation a little bit thicker. Like I mentioned, it is thicker than the foundation, but I can actually feel it when I'm applying it. Like I feel like this brush is dragging a little bit more. I'm really, really loving it. It's almost like the La Mer foundation, but with some radiance to it. It's also like the Surratt Dewdrop foundation, but with a little bit more coverage. So if you like the Surratt Dewdrop, if you like the La Mer foundation, I think you'll really, really like this foundation. Okay, now I'm gonna take some of this Glow Booster just by itself. I don't know if it's dark enough for this. I don't think so. But I'm gonna take a smaller cream brush. I'm gonna take my Trish McEvoy number 55 brush. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit and see if I can just add it on top here for just a little bit more glow. It's very, very subtle. And I think another thing I mentioned when I hauled this is if you are, I don't know, maybe you think the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter is a little bit too much, I think this could work for you. It is very, very subtle though, but you can see a little bit of extra sheen right there and right here. Oh, that does like blend in nicely. I feel like sometimes cream products don't work well together, but this actually looks really nice. All right, I didn't have high hopes for this, but I think this is really nice for just like some subtle radiance. Keep forgetting to put lip balm on. And I have a bit of a cold, so my lips are like really, really dry from last night. I must have been breathing with my mouth open. So let's go ahead and apply the Hourglass Concealer. I have it in the shade Cotton. And again, so far I'm really liking this concealer, but I thought I would try it again with a different base. So I'm just going to dab just a little bit on each eye. A little bit goes a long way. And I'm going to go back to the Trish McEvoy number 55 Deluxe Blender brush. I think, I'm just realizing this now, I think I neglected to mention that I did, at the end of the day, like the side with the brush application better than my finger. I liked it at first too. I mentioned it, when I first put it on, I mentioned how I liked the brush side better, but I didn't mention it at my final check-in. But yeah, that is definitely my conclusion so far, is that I do like this concealer with a brush. And this color is very, very light. It's very, very brightening. And this concealer definitely has a little bit of radiance. And I'm not usually the biggest fan of that, but I don't mind it in this concealer. Maybe my tastes are changing. I don't know. It's also not too much. It's not like I feel like I put highlight under my eyes or anything, but there's like just a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna apply some of my By Terry tinted Hydra Powder in Rosy Light to set my eye area. This is nothing new, and I'm just using my finger to press that in. And then as for loose powder to set my face, I'm not using any new products, but I am mixing two powders together. So I'm using my Kogan Do Natural Lighting Powder, which I absolutely love. And I'm mixing in just a bit of the Lancome Absolute Powder and Absolute Pesh. This is the one that has a little bit of shimmer to it. Again, maybe my tastes have changed, but I generally really like a matter kind of setting powder. And I don't know, maybe just over the past couple of months, I've come to appreciate more of like a shimmery kind of setting powder. Maybe it's the winter time. I don't know. So I've been mixing these two because this is definitely by itself, I think is a little bit too much for setting powder. So I just dump some of the Kogan Do out, and then I tap a little bit of the Lancome on top of it. And that's it. That's the extent of my mixing. And then I just dip my brush in. All right, I'm just dipping my brush in here. I'll start there. So you could probably see like the little bit of shimmer that the Lancome gives the Kogan Do powder. So I've been liking that a lot. Maybe because I've been using like more of a radiant base and I don't want to completely mattify it. I don't know, or maybe my tastes are just changing and evolving. I do not have a new bronzer, so I'm gonna use kind of a long lost love. This is the Edward Best Daydream bronzer. This is such a gorgeous bronzer. It is like a demi matte, so it doesn't have a really flat finish. I just really enjoy it. I'm just gonna use the same brush that I use for my loose powder. Go right in here and just bronzer my face with this. All right, now for blush. I did purchase 3 new Chanel blushes, and I purchased In Love, which is like a peachy gold one. I think I want something a little bit cooler. So I have Rose Ecrin and Rose Initial. I think I'm gonna go for Rose Initial. This was the brighter pink out of the 3. Got my Sonia G Cheek Pro brush here, and just apply some lightly. So pretty. I love how bright that pink is. It's so nice. It's actually kind of reminding me of spring. And then next I've got this Nabla Skin Glazing Highlight in Amnesia. And this came out, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago, but I just got around to purchasing it because the color sold out so quickly. And this was available on Ulta. This was the lightest one that was available on Ulta, is what I'm trying to say. So this is Amnesia. It's a little bit gold tone for me. They have, I think, two shades that are a little bit lighter, and I've been keeping an eye on the Ulta site hoping they'll come into stock. So I'm using my Sony G Sculpt 2 brush. I'm laughing because I washed it and then I put these brush guards on it, so it's like, it's, as you guys know, it's usually like this wide, and wow. Let's see if I can loosen these bristles up a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't use brush guards on these fan brushes. All right, no big deal. This will loosen up. I'm gonna go ahead and just run this over. And I picked this brush because it picks up like harder to pick up products more easily than other brushes. And since this is like a baked product, I thought this would be helpful. So it does seem to be picking up a good amount of highlight. Yeah. Ooh, that is pretty. Wow. I don't even know if I'll need a lighter shade. I think actually this kind of comes off a little bit more frosty than I thought. It looks a little bit more gold in the pan, but on the cheek, I feel like it looks a little bit whiter. Oh, that's pretty. It's a really, really pretty, like smooth, wet kind of shine. There aren't any micro glitters that I can see. It's not like glittery at all, which I like. It just looks really, really smooth. Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. Yes, I would have to agree with that. No new brow products, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. I took out Espresso again because I had been ignoring it ever since I got the granite color, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use this. They're not that much different on the brows. The espresso is just a little bit warmer, and the granite's just a little bit cooler. Alrighty, next up we've got the Pat McGrath Golden Opulence palette. This is a 6-pan palette that she has come out with for Lunar New Year, and I believe this is limited edition, but it is still available on her site. It looks like it's out of stock on Sephora, but available on the Pat McGrath site. So I'll link to it down below if you are interested. Really pretty. I may just stick with the shimmer shades in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Chikuhodo eyeshadow brush. I always forget what number this is, but I'll leave a link to it down below in the description box because they don't print it on the barrel. Anyway, and I'm gonna go into the lightest shade here, and I'm just gonna sweep this all over the eye. And then I'm going to take the Sonia G Blender Pro Brush and go into this pink shade right here. And I'm adding this to the outer corner of the eye and just kind of sweeping it in and blending it over that champagne shade. Just going to take this Sonia G Detail Pro Brush and just kind of run it over everything. Make sure it's blended in nicely. I mean, I just like those two shades together. I think it's so pretty, and this pink color actually comes off a lot more red on the lid than it looks in the pan, which I'm happy about. I feel like it's a little bit more in line with Lunar New Year. The colors of like luck and prosperity are red and gold. So I'm happy to see that this shade is actually a little bit more red. So I'm just gonna stop there. I know I only used 2 shades out of that 6-pan, but I just really like this. I think it's enough. All right, now I have some liquid eyeliners. I don't know what I want to use with this. I probably won't use the khaki or the gray, so I'm going to put those away. This is the khaki and the gray. I don't think that'll go with this look necessarily. So I have 3 different kinds of blacks. I have a black that has just like a glossy kind of finish. That's just a straight up black. And then I have a metallic black. It looks like it's just kind of like silver. Don't think I'll use this today. I'm not that confident yet. And then this one is platinum black, which is like a like a sparkly black. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, this is very close to the metallic black. It just has a different tone to it. So, okay, let me just stick with the black. I know that's probably a little bit boring, but I think this is the only one that really kind of works with what I have going on today. And I'm chicken. I don't think I'm gonna do a major wing or anything. I think I'm just gonna line my upper lash line. All right, I'm definitely gonna have to like bring in a pencil and like tight line, but that's all I'm doing. That was really easy. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. You know what I really like about this brush tip? It's really, really pointy. It's a little bit longer, I feel like, than what I'm used to, but I feel like the extra length is just like point. And it's great for me because I kind of have like thicker eyelids, and I really have to get kind of in between lashes sometimes to just make it look like I didn't miss a part. Anyway, I really like this tip so far, and I think that went on really easily. Okay, I'm just going to like tight line with this and maybe, I don't know, maybe do a little bit of like water lining on the bottom there. And I've got my Tom Ford Emotion Proof Liner in number 1 Dominator. It's just the black one. All right, I just curled my lashes too, and I thought I would use this Chanel Inimitable Waterproof Mascara. I've never used this one. This is brand new to me. It's not brand new in general, but this was just sent to me, and I have it in the shade 10. Sent to me from a friend, not from Chanel. So I thought I would give this a shot. It has, wow, a really prickly applicator there. Ah, okay. The second coat, you start to see a bit of lengthening. Not a lot of volume, but the first coat, I was a little bit worried. I was like, I don't really see much going on. The second coat, yeah, it looks a lot better. This is definitely a formula on the drier side, which I appreciate. I always feel like the wetter ones are just a little bit, I don't know, a little bit messy for me. But this is definitely mascara on the lighter side, as you can see. It's not really volumizing at all. It's really very separating, which I like. The dryness is worrying me a little bit. I wonder if it's going to start flaking, but I guess we'll see. All right, so that's the Inimitable Waterproof Mascara from Chanel. And then for lips, this is something I hauled many, many months ago, but one of you wonderful subscribers sent this to me. Thank you so much. This is a Julie Hewitt lipstick in the color Nude Noir. And I think Julie Hewitt is a makeup artist, and she's done a lot of celebrities, including, I think, like J.Lo. Anyway, so I thought I would try this color because this one looks really pretty and kind of appropriate for this. So, ooh, dare I say, I think this is perfect with this eye look. I love it. And this feels great. And there's no scent. Well, I'm really, really happy with my finished look. I think the liquid eyeliners worked really well. I feel like my complexion looks really, really nice thanks to this combination of the Tom Ford foundation and this tinted glow booster from Nars. I think it looks really nice. Like I'm glowing, but not too much. You know, I don't look greasy or sweaty or just outright oily. And I'm really digging my eye look. I'm glad I just used those 2 colors. I was really tempted to just kind of keep going and layering it on, but I really, really like this eye look. Wow, awesome. I feel like very rarely do I do a full face of brand new makeup and I'm like wowed by everything. Oh, the blush, the highlight looks great. I love that it doesn't have any like micro glitters in there. It's not chunky at all, not in the least. It's so smooth. Well, thank you so, so much for hanging out with me, trying some new makeup with me. I really appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video.